Rules of divisibility, that's the heading. So in this rules, first we are going to see divisible by 2, next is divisible by 5, and next one is divisible by 10. First, a number is divisible by 2 if the last digit is 0, 2, 4, 6, 8. That means divisibility, divisible. Rules of divisibility. The first one is divisible by 2. Okay, divisible by 2. That is 2. We are going to divide by 2 if the last digit is 0, 2, 4, 6, 8. That means the last digit ends with 0, 2, 4, 6, 8. In this divisibility, we are not using any multiplication table or division table. We are using only the rules and regulation. So you have to thoroughly read the rules properly. Okay. Now that is number is 42. Okay, 42. The last digit is what? 2. So divisible by 2 means last digit is ends with 0, 2, 4, 6, 8. So 42 is a number, the last digit is 2. So it is divisible by 2 because the last digit is 0, 2, 4, 6, 8. The last digit ends with 0, 2, 4, 6, 8 means it is divisible by 2. Next is 24. What is the last digit? 2 and 24, 2, 4. Otherwise, last digit is 4. In the ones place, what is this? Ones place, what is the value? 4. That is the last digit. 4 is the last digit. So last digit is 4. It is divisible by 2. It is divisible d by 2. That is d by 2 means divisible by 2. Next is 86. So whether it is divisible or not by 2, that is last digit is 6. 86, that is 86. Last digit is 6. So it is divisible by 2 because the last digit ends with 6. So it is divisible by 2. Next is 100. Whether it is divisible by 2. So once tens 100, the last digit is 0. So the last digit ends with 0. It is divisible by 2. So d by 2. This is the application of the rules. Next, 5. If the last digit is 0, 5, that means the last digit ends with 0 and 5. It is divisible by 5. So example is given 40, 75, 95, 820. If the last digit is 0, 2, 4, 6, 8, that is divisible by 2. I have given some examples. Here 32, this digit ends with 2. 90, this digit ends with 0. 48, the last digit, that is 8. 8 ends with what? 8. So 8 is a what? Last digit. If it ends with 0, 2, 4, 6, 8, these numbers, it is divisible by 2. So 126, the last digit is 6. So this digit ends with 6. So it is divisible by 2. So if the last digit ends with 0, 5. So example 40. 40, 4, 0. What is the last digit? 0. So ends with 0. So it is divisible by 5. 75, 7, 5. Last digit is what? 5. So this digit ends with what? This digit ends with 5. So it is divisible by 5. 95, 9 and 5. Last digit is 5. So this digit ends with 5. So it is divisible by 5. 820. This digit ends with 0. So that this last digit 0 is divisible by 5. some sums divisible by, I want to give more sums divisible by 5. See, last digit what? Is 0, 5. So what is the number? 45, 45. What is the last digit? 5. So the last digit ends with 5. So it is divisible by 5. Okay. Next. 250. 250. 250. The last digit. What is the last digit? 0. So 0 it ends. So the last digit ends with 0. So it is divisible by 5. Because rules what? Last digit is 0, 5. The last digit ends with 0, 5. So in this problem 250, 250. What is the last digit? 0. So it ends with 0. So it is divisible by 5. Next. Divisible by 10. If the digit is 0, that means it ends with 0. So it is divisible by 10. So now we are using without any multiplication table or division table, we are solving the problem. So you have to memorize these rules, very important. Read thoroughly, memorize thoroughly, practice more sum, then only you can understand the concept very well. Otherwise it's little difficult to solve the problem. So 20 to 0, the last digit is what? 0. So this number ends with 0, so it is divisible by 0. 60, the last digit is 0, so it is divisible by 0. So 130, the last digit ends with 0, so it is divisible by 0. 500, 500, the last digit is 0, it ends with 0, so it is divisible by 10. It is divisible by 10. I'll repeat. So divisible by 10. The last digit is 0. The last digit ends with 0. So I want to give some examples, then you can understand very clearly. So 540, 540. So the last digit is 0. This number ends with 0. The last digit is 0. So it is divisible by 10. This is the rules. Okay. Next 270, 270. So the last digit ends with 0. So it is divisible by 10. Next 320. So 320. The last digit is 0, so it is divisible by 10.